Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to an order. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and then we have Kevin Warner here to do our opening invocation.
Thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord of life, we praise you. We thank you for all of your good gifts. We especially thank you for the gift of faith in your Son. We praise you that in him we have life now and forever. But we also pray for our community in the world. We pray for peace throughout the world, but also we pray for our community and village. We pray for all of these elected officials that you would continue to bless them and guide them as they make decisions for us and our community. Be with them, surround them with your grace and with your insight. And we pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We need to appoint.
Roll call first.
Oh, roll call. Oh, I'm sorry. Barry,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Here.
Vaughn,
Here.
Crockett,
Here.
Getzky,
Here.
Simbelman. Here.
Now, a motion to appoint a temporary chairman would be in order.
I'll make that motion.
For who?
Pardon me?
For who? Who is?
Mike Berry?
I'll second that.
Okay. Mike,
You can vote.
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Getzky,
Yes.
Zimbelman.
Yes.
Okay, good evening. Reading of the agenda, is there any additions or deletions?
Kankakee River Valley Special Recreation, I think, is coming off. They're
Yes,
not gonna show.
yeah. She was supposed to be for a committee meeting, not for the board meeting.
Right.
So we need to remove that. Anything else? Motion to approve? Oh, I don't have to.
You don't have to, okay.
Okay, reading of the minutes, changes, corrections, or approval. We have regular meeting minutes from September 2nd, executive session meeting minutes for September 2nd, regular meeting minutes for September 15th.
I move that we approve them.
Can we vote on those separately, because I wasn't here at the September 2nd meeting?
All right, I'll start on the September 2nd. I'll motion that we approve with the corrections that have been made on September 2nd.
Okay, so motion by Getzky and seconded by Vaughn. Okay, Getzky,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Abstain?
Crockett,
Yes.
Simbelman,
Yes.
and Barry.
Yes. Okay, for September 15th?
Motion to approve executive session minutes
Oh, that's it.
for the second
I'll
as well,
second that.
for the executive session.
So Getzky and then Crockett. All right, Getzky,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Zimbelman,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Regular meeting minutes, September 15th?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Boudreau,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Getzky,
Yes.
Simbelman,
Yes.
Barry.
Yes. Okay. Public participation. First person we have tonight is Emily Herman.
Hi, I'm Emily Herman, president and founder of Cute and Acute. In 6 days, I will be running in the Chicago Marathon for leukemia awareness. The last time I was here, it was Leukemia Awareness Month. Now it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer does not discriminate on age, on gender, or where you are in life. Maternal breast cancer does exist. It is also Depression Awareness Month. Obviously, cancer is not only a physical battle, but it is a mental one as well. Also this month, I am asking for permission to go ahead with a fundraiser raffle. May I do so permitless or with a sponsored permit?
I don't have a problem
Okay.
with it.
All
You
right.
need to apply for a license, correct?
Yeah, you should be, it shouldn't be, I'm assuming it's for yourself or
It is
some
for
other person?
For Immerman Angels for the Chicago Marathon for fundraising.
Okay, just, I would apply, you've got to apply through the village clerk's office just so there's a record of it.
Okay.
And then they'll review it for you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Tim Finnegan.
Yes, I would like to address the board on this issue with the scooters. It's a state law. I don't think this board should have to vote on it, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it should be, whether it shouldn't be. That should go fall under the chief of police. He should be able to come up with a plan whether or not he wants to institute the state law or not. I don't understand why the board should have to worry about making any decision on that. It's a state law. And what really bothers me is this is just being brought up now. And that law was instituted on August 8th or August 9th of 2024. So if everybody's just being brought abreast of it, either somebody that's on the legal end of this that should be aware of these laws is negligent or is not paying attention to it. So why are we bringing it before the board? Either you're going to follow the law of the state or you're not. And if you don't, it should not be up to the board themselves. I believe the police chief should come up with a plan and then present it, and the decision would be made on his plan, because that's the jurisdiction it falls under. The other thing I want to bring up is there should be a decorum in this. And obviously, there's people that have enough ill feelings about the election that they just are going to shout out and break the decorum. Now, I know the people in back always do. But I would expect the board to honor the fact that you should be a little bit responsible and not blatantly jump out and say some comment to one of the people speaking. The other thing is all of the stuff with Goshen, everybody's saying, well, all we do is talk about Goshen. Well, what else is there to talk about? You know, everybody has heard probably the term, keep your friends and family close, but keep your enemies closer. How much closer can we get a sworn enemy to our country than in our backyard? The other thing is somebody said that, oh, I would do everything in the world to protect my daughter. Well, did you consider the fact that that plant is probably not that far from your home? And what are you going to do if that plant goes up in your daughter's home?
That's your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Schwarzenbauer.
Good evening. I'd like to just read something I wrote last week to y'all. I had the privilege of taking my family to Manteno Oktoberfest this past week. As in the case with with previous years, our family had a good time. While walking Main Street, I caught a glimpse of Manteno Police Department's new Rivian. At first glance, I did not think much of it, but as I approached it, I noticed it read "Powered by Goshen" in more than one place. I find this deeply troubling. I am distantly familiar with the Goshen, and the question of their existence in Manteno is not of my concern. It seems to have been worked out, and they're here. As I walk around the festival, influences with sponsorships can be seen throughout, whether it be on the main stage for the bands, the large tent next to it, or announcements over the speakers. Goshen is clearly trying to make inroads into our community. Where I'm having the problem is the village of Manteno and the police department have shown no discernment in allowing Goshen to sponsor police cars. While other villages have serve and protect on their corner panels, Manteno has opted into allowing private companies to spend money to put logos on there instead. What is the appearance when a Goshen employee is involved in an incident that requires police response? An accusation could be made that Goshen put their thumb on the scale. It would be very hard to argue that when their logo is on the responding squad car. I saw Chief Swinford's statement when receiving the keys to this car. He stated that he believes that there is a lot of advantages and this would help move law enforcement into the future. If that is the case, then use the department's budget to buy them. Manteno has done a good job in the past with their fleet of police vehicles without sponsorships. Why needlessly open yourselves up to this level of scrutiny? I have never seen Shell, BP, or Interstate Battery apply any additional graphics to a patrol car before. In today's world, our police officers are consistently under the microscope, and they depend on our village leaders to use discernment to keep them from the appearance of impropriety. If Goshen wants to sponsor festivals, fine. If they feel the need to put their name on quarter panels, NASCAR has announced they're coming back to Joliet. But law enforcement must remain independent and free from outside influence. To Mayor Lamore and the leadership of Manteno, discernment is a virtue. What you intend for good may become a slippery slope. I am not insinuating that Goshen is buying influence or that the police department is enabling it, but it certainly wouldn't be hard for others to make a case for that. God forbid the question arises in a scenario like I've presented, but if it does, I hope we have a better answer than it was a free car. Holding the integrity of our men and women in blue above reproach is priceless.
Thank you. Next speaker is Ann Gates.
They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Here's only not even a tenth of my collection of pictures of EV vehicles that are on fire, of manufacturers, including Rivian is on here as well with their 3 fires. This is what you are inviting into our community. Just so you can all see. Okay? Why do this? I'll tell you why, because a very good friend of mine who is a circuit court judge told me, get it into public opinion. Get it on public record. And the case that he used was a very case from Kankakee when Shell Oil had something out here. I didn't live here back then. And a gentleman kept warning them and warning them and warning them, and they wouldn't listen. And he kept saying, there's danger here for our community. They wouldn't listen. It happened. He got catastrophically injured. He did get a good settlement because his lawyer told him, go back in public record every time you've gone to a meeting and you've made them aware of the choices that they're making that you're not in agreement with. And it helped him win his lawsuit. My question is, with the vehicle given, that's what it looks like when it burns. When the vehicle was given, if and when, God forbid, something should happen to an officer in that vehicle, who's going to be paying the bills? Who's going to be settling the lawsuit? The town of Manteno? The police department? It certainly won't be Goshen. This is something that you have to think about in real time. A free gift does come with strings. There was a letter, I didn't get a copy, but I guess I'm named in it. Why you would name somebody in an anonymous letter, I don't understand. I am a confrontational person, but I confront with love because I come bringing some truth to bear and some information. All of you guys work full-time jobs, right? This is not your full-time job, right? This is not all you do, be a trustee. You can't put in hours and hours and hours of study, but I do. I have 2 pins, one Army, one Chicago cop. I know when my nephew had to run into a burning building. I know when a perp dragged him for a block and he ended up with a hip replacement. I know when my son, as a fire chief up in Lombard, has done the same thing, let alone all the rest of my family members. These are the people that you should be paying attention to because they lay their life on the line and you're taking it way too lightly. You need to respect these men. And out of the $4 billion or $4 million between pickleball and a pond, you know who that money should have gone to? That gentleman right there. Not to buy electric vehicles, but to provide his workers with turnout gear and SCBA, like when they had to show up that Friday when the fire departments had to respond to Goshen. I had a friend that was in the response team from one of the other departments. Include me in as to what was going on.
Thank you, Ann.
It should go to him and to the fire department.
Thank you. Thank you. Luke Warner.
My name is Luke Werner, and I have lived in Manteno all of my life. As elected stewards of Manteno, I wanted to thank you for your efforts in making Manteno a great place to live. Manteno has offered me many opportunities that might not be found in other villages. I have taken advantage of the park system, for which I'm very grateful. I've spent countless hours at Legacy Park, Lucille Thies Park, and the Square on 2nd. I am also grateful for the educational opportunities I have received at Manteno High School and its devoted teachers, one of which has assigned me to be here tonight to learn about municipal governance. I have enjoyed utilizing the library services and am comforted that the fire and police departments stand ready to help if I should ever face a crisis. For all of this, I am eternally grateful.
Thank you. Sandy Chiz.
Hello. I have a few different subjects tonight, so try to keep up. First, we didn't congratulate ex-Mayor Nugent on his state parole board appointment, did we? Kudos to him, right? But I think we all have the same opinion as to why it happened. Second, we've discussed transparency and are trying to follow through. I also think most people understand the difference between a forensic audit and an annual audit. But one subject not brought up is fiscal responsibility. The way things seem to most of us is that fiscal responsibility is being ignored. And I say this because of a $300,000 pavilion bathroom being approved by a slight majority of the board. You do realize you could have built a $300,000 house for that, right? And so this is how I believe I see things developing. The $8 million left from the aqua sale. That's going to be blown away by projects approved by a slight majority of the board. Once that's spent, then we'll have to pay for our own garbage and no more property tax rebates. Then what'll happen is the slight majority of the board will point their fingers and lay blame on Mayor Lamore, saying, so similar to what happened at the golf course, right? So this is all the plan for the next mayoral election, the way I see it. But if and only if you maintain your seats on this board to give you that majority. I find that unlikely, but it's always possible. Nonetheless, fiscal responsibility needs to be at the forefront. And finally, I did research on properties allegedly owned by Goshen. The only property I found in Goshen's name is 333 Spruce Street. The remaining 15 are all owned by New Energy Property Holdings. Interestingly, New Energy is not affiliated with Goshen at all. In addition, they're not registered or authorized to do business in the state of Illinois, only in Delaware, and only as of October 2023. What I find confusing, though, is that our village issued building permits and did inspections for 1652 Condor, listing the owner's name as Goshen. So why would permits be issued to the wrong owner's name? And even if the New Energy proper is managing the property for Goshen, which they're also not licensed to do, they're not authorized to do business in the state. So I find it confusing and concerning that the village, some village employees, are doing transactions with companies that are not authorized to do business in this state. And that gives me concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Francine Fadma?
Good evening. In the Daily Journal, recently, as recent as Saturday, the 20th of September, Angela Morey was tabbed as acting president, CEO of the Economic Alliance. Now, I don't know much about her, and I don't think that will matter anyway. She'll be in. What does that Economic Alliance actually do for us? I would say not much. It's supposed to feed into the county board, and so that's not necessarily in our interest. I want to thank our mayor, Lamore, our village clerk, Carrie Bolniak, trustees Peggy Vaughn and Mike Berry. I want to say, please, keep up the good work. We need it desperately. Also, to my understanding, Trustee Boudreau has invited students to attend these meetings. Great idea. You see, it's necessary for the young people who are our future leaders to see government at work firsthand. Pay attention to the board members, but also students, pay attention to the public participation section. That's where the taxpayers are telling you what their interests are and their concern for fiscal responsibility. And they only get 3 minutes, but that you can say quite a bit in it. Just to remember that this village's future depends on fiscal responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Patrick Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, trustees. I came tonight to speak on Public Work Utility agenda item consideration and the motion to possibly award the bid for the 2025 Storm Sewer Improvement Project tonight. I want to go on record as I want to protest that bid and challenge it under the prevailing wage. Don't know that this company pays a prevailing wage, has any accredited apprenticeship program involvement. They're doing taxpayer work, state, taxpayer money with prevailing wage applies. So I would recommend that, table that and not award it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Mike Younger.
How are we doing tonight? The question that I have is the pumping station on Sycamore. You got 2 trucks sitting there 24/7 for the past 7 weeks. How much money are we spending? Can't we just fix the problem? The sewer line is plugged up. Can't we just fix it? You got 2 trucks sitting there. They bother me all night long when they drive up and down the street. But they're there 7 days a week, 24/7. They're there now reading their books. And once the tank is full, then he trucks it out. How much more are we going to spend? Why not just fix the problem?
We'll look into it, sir. Thank you. The final speaker is Roy Hodges.
Good evening, everybody. I also went to the festival last weekend, all 4 days, and I was also disturbed when I saw our police car with Goshen insignias all over it, and huge Goshen signs once again. It's not a Goshen festival. It's a Manteno festival. And the next thing that really disturbed me is there's a small lot right across from Carlisle's business that was designated for handicap parking for Americans with disabilities. It's a small lot. Carlisle decided to leave 5 vehicles in that lot over the weekend, all 4 days. They weren't moved. It was 3 pickup trucks, a small van, and a larger van. And the first day, I questioned 3 police officers who were standing together talking, and they said, well, we don't know anything about it. Check with the chief. So I talked with the chief that same day. I said, what's going on? That's a handicapped lot. Designated. They had 2 big signs at each entrance. And the chief said, well, I don't know, but I'll look into it. So then on Saturday, I saw the chief again. And I said, Chief, look. I said, look down the street. There's a guy pushing a woman in a wheelchair from St. Joe parking lot. And there was another guy walking with the hand canes. And I said, why are those vehicles still there? And the chief told me, he goes, well, he made a deal with the village. And I said, who made the deal with him? Well, I don't know. He didn't tell me that. Mr. Carlisle is here right now. Who made that deal with him? No deal. So you were lied to. All 5 of those vehicles should receive a fine for those 4 days that they were sitting in that lot. And so should he. He was the owner of those vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public participation. Village President's Report presentations, we have none. Appointments, we have none. Proclamations, none. Requests, none. Announcements. One announcement I'd like to make is one of our local businesses, Andy Lee from Lee's Rental, has a huge event at the Will County Fairgrounds. It's Halloween Haunted Fest. I went there last weekend. It was fantastic. Local business guy trying to do something for himself. Great event. Discussions. There is no discussions. Old business. We have no old business. And new business. There is no new business. So we'll move on to Village Administrator. Chris, do you have anything?
I have nothing this evening.
Okay, committee reports. That would be me. Old business on the agenda, none. New business on the agenda, ordinance 25-19, an ordinance amending Title III Business Regulations, Chapter 20, raffles of the Village of Manteno Municipal Code. Chris, can you discuss that one? Was that the changes we made for the raffle?
Yeah, these were changes that were discussed at committee meetings and implemented to update our raffle ordinance, and same thing with the next one, which is the itinerant merchants.
Okay.
Again, all of this was discussed at committee meetings, and some of it is state statutes that have changed since we implemented our older ones, so this is some updates as well as changes that the board requested.
But that still gives the board the opportunity to waive some of the raffle fees for some businesses?
Correct.
Okay. Payment of the bills in the amount of $409,335.59, including TIF number 3, $207.66. One of the major bills was the final payment for the dry storage shed at the Public Works, and the trailer that we bought, the signal trailer for the police department. Bills authorized and paid between board cycle, $9,900.97 and $256,123.14. Finance Committee meeting report. Our next Finance Committee meeting will be Monday, October 20th, 2025, here at the Village Boardroom at 5 p.m. That's all I have. Public and zoning, Mr. Boudreau.
Old business, none. New business, we have none. Our next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting will be this Wednesday here at Village Hall at 7 a.m. And the next Planning Commission meeting is canceled since there is nothing on the agenda. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Vaughn, Public and Safety and Health.
Okay, old business on agenda, none. New business on agenda. Ordinance 25-20, an ordinance amending Title IV, Police Regulations, Chapter 1, Misdemeanor Code, Article 4, offenses involving health, safety, and children, by adding Section 414-11, public urination or defecation of the municipal code. Ordinance 25-21, an ordinance authorizing the sale of surplus property. Chief, would you like to talk a little bit about the safety and that, what we have with these ordinances? Explain it to the citizens, please.
Incidents for that first ordinance, pretty rare, but a couple of times it's occurred, and we found we really don't have an effective ordinance to address it for whatever reason. So we're just modifying that so that it gives us some enforcement action in the event that would happen again. And the other one is our ATV hasn't been used in many years. We surplus that and find a home for it.
Okay, Public Safety Committee report. Next Public Safety and Health Committee meeting, October 20th at 5 p.m. in the Village Boardroom. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Crockett.
Thank you, Mike. Before we move on to mine, I believe you skipped ordinance 25-22 on your agenda. Second item.
Oh.
The itinerant merchant?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what Chris had said.
All right, very good. Moving on, we have a consideration, a motion to authorize the purchase of a 2025 Ford Ranger from Taylor Ford Manteno for a cost of $37,528. We have a consideration, a motion to authorize the Public Works Director to draft a request for proposal to secure bids for the design and installation of landscaping for Village Hall, the Police Department, Heritage Park concession area, and some downtown streetscapes. We also have a consideration motion to award the bid for the 2025 Storm Sewer Improvement Project to Allied Water Solutions, Manteno, Illinois, for a cost of $368,867.50.
Todd, before we go on, can I talk to you a minute about that bid for the truck?
Sure.
We're bidding on, Drawley bid this truck for $35,427.90, okay? Theirs is a 2026. The one that the Ford bid is a 2025, okay? That's a year difference on these two vehicles. So with the two differences, the $2,000 plus the $3,500 for that year, that's $5,500 that we're spending on this truck. And we weren't even going to get the bid in the first place till I said something. Is this how we do the bidding process?
Right now, it's a $2,100 difference. And
No, it isn't.
This is the vehicle that our Public Works Director had chose. This is also through Taylor Ford, who has been our #1 tax-generating revenue.
Well, Dan Drolley
business.
lives here in Manteno as
And
well.
I have no,
But
I
what
have
I'm
no
saying
problems
is,
with
it
Drolley's.
is.
I've bought several vehicles from them myself. It's not a
Okay, well,
Drolley's
that's fine,
versus
but I'm
Taylor
saying,
Ford issue.
is this how the bidding process works? If
So,
we like a
first of all, it's
vehicle, we
not-
don't put it out for bid?
First of all, it's not a comparable vehicle. The Ford Ranger and the Colorado are
Yes,
not
it is.
comparable vehicles. Jim, why don't you explain the reason that you would prefer the Ford Ranger?
Just to clarify, it'll be a 26 because they're going to have to order it, and they're not making any, the 25s are over, so it will be a 26, same price. We kind of talked it through, a couple things. The Ford Ranger, it's aluminum body, better engine, larger cargo area. We have 2 other ones right now.
So what's this, who's going to be driving this and who's going to use it?
Public Works staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Colorado. That's what we're, the Ranger.
Yep.
Is what you're, I think the Chevy is just as equipped than this Ranger. I don't see why, when they're bidding, when we do a bidding process and the person wins that bid, why do they not get it? I mean, why are, I don't know, is this the bidding process throughout all the years? Is this how it happens?
Well, first of all, this is a state bid, so it's the lowest bid that any Ford dealer would sell the same comparable vehicle for.
Drolley is $2,000 cheaper.
But you're not looking at apples and apples, you're looking at apples and oranges. It's 2 different
No.
vehicles with 2 different VIN numbers and 2 different sets of equipment.
2 different VIN numbers, of course.
When I was elected, one of the very first things that I said was that as a trustee, I would support public works and I would support public safety in any which way that they need it. Now, Jim feels that this is the best vehicle for the use. I think it's the best vehicle for the use.
And I'm looking out for
And
the
also,
taxpayers.
So what you're trying to do, though, is you're trying to take a local business that produces the most tax dollars in this community and throw them out the door over $2,100.
I'm not throwing them out the door. No, it is a fair
$2,100,
bidding
Peggy,
process
for a
that
vehicle
we
that's not
should
an
be
apples
doing.
to apples. And my question would be
No,
to
it is.
Jim, who's going to be using the vehicle. Jim, what do you feel is the best vehicle for the money?
We have a Ford fleet right now, other than a couple.
That's the point, right there. You have a Ford fleet right now, and you don't want to change to where we're saving the taxpayers' money. And I think it's appalling. I'm sorry.
Well, then, Peggy, you vote the way you want to vote. Moving on, our next Public Works Committee meeting is Tuesday, November 28th at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Getzke.
Thank you. I have no new items on the agenda, no old items. Our next Property and Rec Committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, October 8th at 7 a.m. right here. A little update, last meeting, we passed the pavilion, and it was a little bit of a heated debate amongst some of the officials. Kudos to Mr. Carlisle. Before you gave us a bid price to do a design, after seeing that we had a little discrepancy as far as location and ability to see it, you stepped up, reached out, and offered to meet with us and help give us some of your input, and you're doing it for a zero cost to the village. So today, one of the requirements that you had was that a representative of both parties or both views were there. So today, myself, before this meeting, myself, Trustee Vaughn, Jim Hanley, and Jacob Carlisle met out at 2nd Street, Square on 2nd, and we went through some discussions, and I feel as though we came up with some pretty good compromise. And Jacob's offered to do a drawing for us for all the rest of the board members to present, so hopefully, maybe not at the next park committee meeting, but the one after that, we can present to the whole board. We've got some time of some of the things that both myself and Trustee Vaughn had put in. And Trustee Vaughn, do you agree? I think we came together pretty well in today's conversation.
I think so. I think when we discussed where we're going to put it versus where we were going to, or you wanted to put it before, I think it's it's a pretty good idea where it's going to go, what it's going to look like. I think we can work together on this. I think we'll make that park, look nice and stuff. I'm really liking to see the other way that I talked to you about as far as putting the bathrooms, the portable one with the 3 bathrooms in there and stuff. I think it's cheaper. I just, my thoughts on this, Joel, as far as spending $300,000 on bathrooms. I know we don't have the votes to stop it, but my feeling on it, and I'm sure Mike feels the same way that I do as far as spending that kind of money on it. I'm against that, but if it has to be, it has to be.
I think the message there is that we were able to come together and start making headroom. We're not going to agree on everything, so, and I think today was a good step in the right direction. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. General Government, Trustee Zibelman.
No old business on the agenda, no new business. The next General Government Committee meeting is Tuesday, the 28th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom.
Thank you. So the consent agenda, consideration of an omnibus vote. Consideration, motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as designated by the asterisk for voting purposes on the consent agenda. The motion requires unanimous consent of the village board, village president, and board of trustees. The chair will identify those items to be included on the consent agenda omnibus vote list. It is at this point that any trustee or president may request that any item be deleted.
I would like to have the motion to award the bid for the 2025 storm sewer improvement project. I'd like to have that removed and tabled for us to have further discussion. My understanding that the bid difference between the lowest bid and the bid here was, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, about $120,000. And with what we heard tonight, I want to make sure that prevailing competitive wages are being paid, and that, sometimes when things sound too good to be true, they usually are. And when we're talking about $120,000, it's a third of the cost of what the bid price is. So I think holding off for 2 weeks to do our due diligence may behoove us. So I would ask for that to be voted on separately or removed from the agenda altogether and tabled.
Okay, and then I have a question about number 6. So we could discuss it at that time. So we'd be looking to vote on Ordinance 2519, an ordinance amending Title III Business Regulations, Chapter 20, raffles of the Village of Manteno Municipal Code. Number 2, an ordinance amending Title III Business Regulations, Chapter 7, intern merchants of the Village of Manteno Municipal Code. Number 3, Ordinance 2520, an ordinance amending Title IV Police Regulations, Chapter 1, Misdemeanor Code, Article 4, offenses involving health, safety, and children by adding Section 4-1-4-11, public urination or defecation of the Manteno Municipal Code. Number 4, an ordinance authorizing the sale of surplus property. Number 5, consideration, a motion to authorize the purchase of a 2025 Ford Ranger for Taylor Ford from the cost of $37,528. Would anybody like to make a motion on that?
Yeah, the financial. Just to clarify, you want 6 off the consent agenda as well?
6. Well, 5 and 6, I'm sorry, 5 and 6.
You want 5 and 6
Yeah.
off the consent agenda?
Yeah, and then...
And what, the payment of bills would be on the consent agenda?
Yes, sir. And then motion to approve the payment of bills in the amount of $409,335.59, including TIF number 3, $207.66.
Make a motion.
Well, second. Okay, wait. We're making a motion for the bills right now?
We're making a motion for everything except 5 and 6.
B1 through 4 and D1.
But he wanted the number one.
No.
So are we taking
1,
off?
2, 3, 4.
Is Getzke, we're taking off number one, a motion to award the bid for the storm sewer? Is that
Yeah,
getting taken
that's
off?
gonna take it off.
Okay,
on
so that's
number
getting
5 and
taken,
6.
okay.
And 5 and 6.
And then 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're,
Sorry.
yeah. Trustee Getzke, motion for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and payment of the bills.
I'll second.
Second by trustee Zimmelman.
First, second. Okay. Getzke.
Yes.
Zimmelman.
Yes.
Boudreaux.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Crockett.
Yes.
And Barry.
Yes. Number 5, a motion to authorize the purchase.
We got to approve it. You set the consent agenda, we got to approve it now.
So I'll make a motion to
To
approve.
approve it, sorry.
Yeah. No.
Second.
Okay. Boudreaux.
Yes.
Vaughn. Crockett.
Yes.
Getzke.
Yes.
Zimmelman.
Yes.
Barry.
Yes. Okay, number 5, so I don't think we should vote on this if this is listed as a 2025 and Jim just said it's a 2026. I mean, I think this should be taken off the agenda, and honestly, I understand that we've done a lot of business with Taylor Ford, and they're our biggest tax purchaser, so you think they would have been a little bit more aggressive with the pricing on this vehicle. So, I mean, I think this needs to have what we're truly getting, and the difference between each model, other than just a, a little piece of paper that states, the turbocharged engine, better fuel economy, everything else. So I just think that this should state on there what we're truly getting and have this updated on there with what we're buying for $37,000.
At our committee meeting, we kind of fully discussed this, and Jim, again, you provided the reasoning behind it. Again, we have this full fleet that way, and we had kind of the same disagreement here. I get probably it's $2,000, but it's a Manteno business versus a Piatone business. I don't know why that's such a big deal.
No, it's $3,500 between the 2 years.
Well, he just
But
said it's a
it says
2026
a
now.
2025.
Great, then I'll vote to amend it to make it a 2026. Why are we battling over $2,000 in a $8 million budget? This is just to make a business mad?
Not to mention the sponsorships that they provide for Square on Second when they have the Rockin' on the Square. I mean, Jacob's not here today, but I think that I always see their sponsorships for everything.
Do you remember when Drolley used to have River Valley here in Manteno? Now, I seem to remember back then how the bids worked. I was told how the bids worked. And I'm not happy with this whatsoever. I think this is wrong. I think it needs to be taken off and rebid. And just because it's a Ford, I'm totally against this. No.
So we can leave it the way it is with 2025?
No, you can approve it. The information to purchase the vehicle at the price is on there. You just make a motion, it's a 2026. It's not a big deal.
I'll make that motion. Just amended to 2026.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote.
Okay. Boudreaux.
Yes.
Getzke.
Yes.
Vaughn.
No.
Crockett.
Yes.
Zimmelman.
Yes.
Barry.
No.
All those $2,000 add up, boys.
Okay, so the number 6 is, and I don't understand this, I'm having a motion to authorize Public Works Director to draft a request for proposal to secure bids for design and installation of landscaping for Village Hall, Police Department, Heritage Park concessionary, and some downtown streetscapes. What are we doing there?
We're getting proposals from landscapers to provide services, bids basically, proposals to provide landscaping services for those areas.
What, are they installing equipment, or what are they installing new plants? Or?
That's why we're going out to get proposals.
So are we paying someone for these design, or is this, and what is the reasoning behind it?
Well, at our Public Works meeting, we discussed that we want to hold our parks up to a high standard of finishes and look. We control flower control, the village hall, a lot of the landscaping there is over 20 years old, it's starting to get a little overgrown, hard to take care of. So we thought that we would request the services and proposals from some local landscapers to basically give us ideas. We're not hiring anybody to do any work, we're basically just looking to get proposals, new ideas, what can we do with the landscaping, lower maintenance type landscaping, stuff that's easier for our Public Works Department to maintain and control.
So there's not going to be any cost for designs or anything
No.
else like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate it. Okay. So we would approve those two? Or we have discussion?
Yeah, just a motion for that.
Motion to approve the, number 6, a motion to authorize Public Works Director to draft a request for proposal to secure bids for design and installation of landscaping for Village Hall, Police Department, Heritage Park concession area, and some other downtown streetscapes.
Are you making the motion, or are you asking for one?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Barry,
Yes.
Getzky,
Yes.
Zimmelman,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Vaughn,
At no cost, correct?
No cost.
We're getting proposals.
Yes.
and Boudreaux.
Yes. Okay, next topic of discussion is consideration of motion to award the bid for the 2025 Storm Sewer Improvement Project to Allied Water Solutions, Manteno, Illinois, for a cost of $368,867.50.
I move to table it.
I second.
Hold on. You can't, unless it's up for consideration, you can't table it, so if you guys all want to agree, just to push it off to the next meeting while you investigate it, we can do that.
Well, I did, just to clarify, is I talked to Bruce Hill today. And I asked Bruce Hill if we've done any research on this company. Jim and I had a conversation about it too. You know, to make sure that the company was on the up and up, and Bruce Hill told me that they had done work in Frankfurt, and they were very happy with them, and Romeoville, they were very happy with them. So my question is when we put these things out for bid, does it state that they're using prevailing wage on the bids?
Yes, that's part of the requirement.
By law, you have to state that the job is subject to prevailing wage, yeah.
And then do we do follow-up with a payroll check on that?
They do certified payroll upon, before we pay out any bills. I'm pretty sure that's how the process is.
Yeah, there's actually a portal at the state that you have to submit your payroll to that portal. And so that it actually is the state follows through on it to make sure that they are paying prevailing wage.
So then, with this bid that they, or this packet that they received with these bids, they came in $130,000 less than the next company. And by them filling out the paperwork and the contract's going to state that they're paying prevailing wage on these projects.
Yep, and the explanation Bruce gave is that some companies, knowing that the work was, hopefully to be started yet this fall, some companies don't have a whole lot going on, so they're going to bid it lower and be more aggressive to get the work. Other companies might have enough work for the rest of the winter and they don't need it, and they might bid higher. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why some bids are lower and some are higher.
Can you say how much, was it close to the estimate that Bruce made? Or
It was under the estimate by $80,000.
Yeah. Gives me reason to just question,
What's that?
why it's...
Okay, I'm fine with that too. I just know that this was a project I thought we were going to try to do as soon as possible, so it was less disturbance for those residents with it. But if we want to take just one more meeting, that's fine too. Just to cross all the T's, that's fine.
Yeah, I've been very adamant about making sure that these homeowners aren't going to be disrupted as little as possible, and that the time frame could be accelerated so that they don't have their backyards torn up for any extended period of time. I'm not saying that I don't want to use Allied. I just want to make sure that we are, again, dotting all the i's, crossing all the t's, making sure that when we pull the trigger on getting this project started, it's done expeditiously, it's done correctly, and it's done with the least amount of interference to the homeowners.
But I mean, once again, as if he filled this out, Chris, as you're saying, and he's using prevailing wage,
Yeah, they all receive the same bid package, and they all, they have to, if they're not union, they have to pay prevailing wage. That's state law.
Everybody has to pay prevailing wage. If they're union, they may pay more. Plus, they have to supply a labor and payment bond along with that, and that labor and payment bond says that the surety is going to ensure that prevailing wage is paid on the project. So,
And I mean, like I said, I did talk to Bruce today, he did do reference checks on them, they were happy with all their work. So, I mean, if a company wants to come in and they want to save the town $120,000, I don't see why, if we're doing it, if they're filling out everything the way they had to fill it out, why we wouldn't accept this.
Well, I think it's a big enough cost to raise some eyebrows and just want to question and make sure that we're moving forward.
Yeah, but we're questioning things now that we didn't question before. So I just...
What are you referring to as before, Mike?
I just see that this is a low bid.
Mike, what are you referring to as before? Are you saying that we never did scope reviews or looked at proposals or bids in the past? Is that what you're alluding to?
No. What I looked at is...
I hope not.
What I looked at was the same thing that was on here. And I did call Bruce Hill twice, and I spoke to Jim Hanley about it. So I did do my background research.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
So...
Chris and I spoke about it, we talked to Bruce, we got the information. If I'm having my backyard torn up, I want to make sure it's getting done correctly, it's getting done expeditiously in a timely manner and done correctly. I'm not saying that they're not going to do that. I'm completely in favor of hiring, especially a company from Manteno. I hope that at the end of the day, we do hire them. I just want to make sure that we're doing it correctly.
so if you guys all want to agree to put it off onto the next agenda, that's fine. Otherwise, one of you has to make a motion to approve or to disapprove, and then you can make a motion to table it, but I wouldn't make a motion to disapprove based on what we're talking about. If that's fair.
I make a motion to approve it because if Chris says that everything on the bid is done correctly, and they're held accountable for that, if they messed up the bid, that's on them.
How many other bids were there on this?
There were 4 other bids.
Pardon me?
3 other bids.
3 other bids?
Yes.
And we said they've done work in Frankfurt and
Romeoville.
and we've checked in on them.
Bruce Hill talked to them
Bruce
today.
Hill, the village engineer, is the one that vetted them, yes.
I believe the owner of the company is here, correct? Would you mind coming to the podium?
Do we have a second yet?
No.
Wait till we have a second. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. You can come up now, sorry. I just, procedures.
Sorry. So, good evening. So just a couple of questions. So I guess when you see, and I'm a contractor myself, so that's why I kind of look at this in a little maybe different light. So when there's a $120,000 difference between the low bidder and the second bidder, okay, I'm sure when you saw that, you're like, why are we $120,000 less than?
I actually said, man, I left a lot of money.
Yeah, right. I would do the same thing, right? So I'm kind of looking out for your back as well. But are you, why would you say there's a $120,000 difference between the two?
So M&J Underground was the second highest bid, I believe $504,000. And he said, I don't want the work, my project managers don't want the work, but the owners are making the bid. We're a small town, we're a small company right here in Manteno. We drive through Village Hall every day. And our original bid, done by our bid guy, was $415,000. And I was like, you know what, this is a local community and we're part of it. Let's lower our profit percent by about 10% in order for us to be able to achieve the goal. And then deeper into the goal, into the plans, they're 4-foot structures at the deepest. Most of it is being done by boring machines, a total of 6 shots, all where we could restore areas of landscape within 10 by 20 square foot areas. Easy sod, easy topsoil, lay it down. We also are a residential business, so we work with residential companies, homes every single day and strive on the quality that we give to our customers. It's also all in our reviews. We have 193 reviews.
I saw that you have a lot of reviews, yeah.
And all of our homeowners where we're doing storm water work. It's right up our alley. We just completed another 1,000-foot job over at the Manteno Mobile Home Park in the unincorporated. We had it done in 3.5 weeks. Full restoration of the grass. They didn't want to pay for the sod, so we did seed and straw. as well as asphalt.
Okay, and respect for time, just a few other questions. So, looking at your website, it looked like most of the excavation that you do is done by trenching and dug by hand. Are you, is your company solely going to do all 100% of this work on this project?
We are subbing out the boring.
You're subbing out the boring,
Yes,
okay.
but we are-
To who?
To on-demand boring.
Okay. Are they, where are they from?
They're out of Lombard.
Lombard, okay. So there will be no hand trenching? There will be no trenching, it'll all be directional bore?
No, there will be excavation where we have E42 Mini, which is honestly too big for the job. We've got the in-between fences. So really, E26 would be the right machinery, as well as our Kubota SBL75X, which will easily bring in these 2-foot basins. I believe 300 feet of it, 310 feet of it is to be excavated at a depth of 3 feet along the sidewalk with some sidewalk removal.
As a trustee, I can't tell, I can't dictate that your company's union, non-union, one or the other. Are you union or non-union?
We're non-union.
Is the company doing the directional boring, are they union or
They are
non-union?
union.
They are union.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so you feel confident that you can complete the work based on your bid?
1,000.
With no change orders?
With no change, well, I mean, change orders can be.
Unless
like,
deemed
there's stuff
necessary?
on the ground, right, that we don't know about.
Unless deemed necessary?
Correct. 100%. Per quantity of the bid.
Do any other trustees have questions?
Do we have any information on on-demand boring? Do we know anything about them?
I did let the engineer know about them as well.
Do you know anything, Mike, about on-demand boring?
I've seen them work before. And I know that M&J, I did speak to M&J, and they said they're just too busy. M&J's doing a bunch of work at Tinley Park.
Again, it's such a discrepancy when you look at a percentage to the cost of the job. It just makes me,
$47,000 in repair.
makes me just raise an eyebrow.
And that's, I mean, I brought that up when I wasn't on the board about the Thies Park project.
My
When the bid was
uncle has a
30%.
company too, and he says he makes bids sometimes just to make a bid so that they in the future could do that too. So I mean, I take him at his word for it.
Yeah.
It seems like we're getting a good deal here. Obviously, we want to do it right, but it's the Manteno business. I feel like there's pressure on them to do it right with it. So
And you live right here in town.
Yes, we do.
I say we vote on it.
Okay, a motion to accept the bid from Allied Water Solutions for $368,867.50 for the Leahy Park 2025 Storm Sewer Improvement Project.
I have
make
a
motion.
question. I was going to say, it's
Yeah.
already motion,
Yeah.
okay. So Barry,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Boudreaux,
yes,
Crockett,
Yes.
Getzky,
Abstain.
Zimmelman.
Yes.
Okay. You already made the motion, paid the bill, so we're good? Yep. Trustee Zimmerman, do you have any comments?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. Trustee Getzky?
The only comment I have is to Luke. Thank you for coming out today and talking, giving us reasons why Manteno is a good place to live. And I would encourage other people to, I know we don't always see eye to eye on everything, but us trustees all received a letter, and we're not reading the letters, but talking about maybe it's time that we start looking at why we all choose to still live here and what's great about Manteno that we all still choose to call this our home. So thank you for being the leader and being the first one to step up and actually say why you're happy to live here. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Trustee Crockett?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I just want to let our local business community know that if you're doing good things here in Manteno and you're supporting Manteno, I will always have your back, and I will do whatever I can to support local businesses. Second thing is more of a observation than a comment. I know each and every one of the board members here has reached out to Chris asking for information, backup support. I know I have done that quite often, but I know everybody here on the board has done the same thing. But unfortunately, he is still sitting here with an unsigned contract. I think the mayor needs to put partisan politics aside and sign the gentleman's contract. The board voted on it, voted in favor of it, and I'm in favor of getting him a signed contract. If you don't think so, then maybe you shouldn't ask him for support or ask him any questions. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Crockett. Trustee Vaughn?
Yes, I just want to say that our Oktoberfest was a big hit. Everybody seemed to be happy, and I want to say thank you to our police department and that did an excellent job. And we have Karen Brandt here tonight. I want everybody to see and meet Karen. She's one of the officers.
My name's Karen Brandt. I've been here for 4 years. My grandparents, Alton and Richard, lived out on 11,000 for a long time. And my dad, Jim Brandt, if you guys used to listen to WBLI, WIBR, is my dad. And Marcia Brandt, who's lived in Berkshire for most of my life, and then got the opportunity to work here. It's a wonderful department. Couldn't ask to be in a better spot. So I appreciate you guys having me work for you. I've been training a lot of new people, and they all, I think, appreciate how wonderful the department we have here.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chief, for doing what you guys did at Oktoberfest, and I did happen to come up there at midnight on Saturday and talk to you and see how everything went, and when I was really impressed with when the officers all came down the street and that to kind of, make sure everything was in order and everybody was having a good time and there was no problems and that, and I totally appreciate that, and I think the citizens of our community appreciate you guys too. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Vaughn. Trustee Boudreau?
Yeah, just to echo that, actually, I think me and Peggy ran into each other Saturday at midnight, and we were talking about just how great it was going, and the presence by the police was great. I think overall it seemed to be a success. There's a lot of people there. I feel like the numbers were huge. The parade seemed to be very successful, so that was great. Just some other quick high school updates, just to make you know of as fall sports ends. Our girls golf, which is only in its second year ever, I got to brag, because I'm the golf coach, won not only our conference for the first time ever, but won regionals, which is great. Unfortunately, the season ended today. Volleyball's off to its best start in, I believe, 10 years. Football's 500. Soccer just grabbed a share of conference, which is great. Our girls' cross-country team is ranked in state. So it seems like our fall sports are doing very well. Also, while I appreciated the comment of bringing students here, it's not my decision for students to come. It is a state-mandated law. So me and the other teachers, we have to come to either a board meeting or a school board meeting. Well, we do appreciate them there. So I just wanted to clarify that. Just really quick for the votes, as I always do. The ordinances, again, cleanup language made sense. The surplus made sense. We've discussed the car. The proposal made sense. I think we actually, again, showing government at work here with that sewer decision. We, again, were talking it out real time, made sense. Two then really quick comments about some hot button issues that I've seen. First off with the scooters. I know this has been a tough decision for some. However, and we said this many times, we just have had too many close calls, even with multiple warnings, police warnings, a safety class we held. We still have seen too many kids zooming and too many close calls, and we're just not going to wait for a kid to get severely hurt or worse So if you're pissed, be mad at us, but we'd rather you be mad at us than have a kid get severely hurt and then we're doing the same thing we're doing now with it. With the car donation, I think it's very clear. We're going to be talking about this on Wednesday. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of it either. I think that's something that we should just remove from all police vehicles, from anyone. We appreciate donations, of course, but it's not a sponsorship, and we don't want to make our police team biased in any way. I know people were mad about the decision anyway. That's fine to come at us, but the police had nothing to do with that, and I don't want to put them in that any kind of way with that. Other than that, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Just to follow up with the Oktoberfest, I think it was a fantastic event. Other than a couple drunk people getting in a little scuffle, we're okay. It's going to happen. But I think we did a phenomenal job. I think Jacob and the staff did a phenomenal job. It was nice to see the people. The weather definitely helped with that. A couple things is I just want to say is people know that I'm an approachable person. So if there's a concern or you have a problem or a question, you can get a hold of me via email and write me an email. When I get anonymous letters in the mail, it's kind of tough because I think I'm one of those people come to my face and talk to me. I'm a pretty approachable guy. I might not look like that, but I think a lot of people know me and know that I'm pretty approachable. We're doing the best we could do. And I know we're not going to agree every time, but I think we're moving forward. And we're having discussions, and that's what it takes to run it successfully. So once again, I appreciate everything. And you guys have a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Boudreaux?
Yes.
Vaughn? Crockett?
Yes.
Getzky?
Yes.
Zimmelman?
Yes.
And Barry.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.